Hey guys, it's Alyssa, the hopeless romantic redhead.
And I'm Danielle, the whodunit detective.
And welcome to Main Character Syndrome. If you feel like you are the main character in your life, you are in the right place. We just did our episode on summer reads. We are in the middle of hot girl summer. Danielle, have you been at the pool very often?
No, I haven't. It's been really depressing. We literally have a neighborhood pool like right behind our house, and I just have not had time to go to it. We've been to the lake a couple of times.
Okay, that's fair. That counts.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm a Florida girl, and I used to be able to tan so easily, and I'm as pale as a ghost.
Hey, but your skin is glowing.
Oh, I wear sunscreen. How
Hey,
about you?
that's a good thing. Oh, yeah, I've been at the pool almost every weekend. I think last weekend, because it was too hot to do anything else, I was out at the pool Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, that's so nice.
Don't I
That's so
look like it?
We literally have been out of town every single weekend this month. Well, the month of June, I should say, into the beginning of July. And then, yeah, so now it's like this weekend, next weekend, I think are our one weekends where we're like home. And
Hmm.
then we have friends coming over. And then we have some weddings coming up soon. And then a big travel trip to Europe. So we plan too much. So next summer, we'll probably just do absolutely nothing. And that sounds great.
It happens, honestly, when you're in like the beginning of the year and you're like, oh, we can do so many things. I have so much time. And then summer is like almost over and you're like, where did it go?
Yeah, and when your in-laws have a lake house, it's like you're like, yeah, come to our parents' lake house. Like, it's great. Everything's great. And then you plan too many of those weekends and you're like, oh.
Don't plan too many. I still have to come out for a lake house weekend.
Hey, maybe next weekend. Oh
All
man.
right. So let's get into our main character moment of the day. What was yours?
Okay, so this week, my husband and I have been on the journey for months now, going through the entire series of the TV show Lost.
Oh,
It came
right.
out
Okay.
15 years ago, and both of us never fully watched it. I thought I knew how it ended, and we finished it this week. There were tears on both ends, his end, my end. And then and it ended actually a little bit different than how I thought. So it was kind of a bit of a surprise and it was very bittersweet. And I'm like, I don't know, what do I do with my evenings now? Like we would spend 2 hours a night watching episodes of Lost. I guess I need to
Hmm.
go to the gym.
I love that. No, I don't remember. I think I've only seen a few episodes of Lost, but I do know that Ian Somerhalder is in it.
Yes, he is. That shocked me when I first started it again. I was like, whoa, I didn't remember him being on here.
I
Uh,
know because I watched Vampire Diaries first and then I saw Lost and I was like, wait a second. Damon
mhm.
Salvatore's in this.
Yep. And my husband's sitting over there and I'm like, oh, hey there, buddy. They
I
don't have him
mean,
with his shirt off as often as they should.
oh, I know. He is a beautiful specimen of a man.
What's your
Um,
main character moment this week?
well, main character moment. I was on the radio again, so I did
Yeah,
another voiceover with another client. That was really fun. Um, I went to a Russell Dickerson concert,
fun.
and this was the day before the 4th of July, so July 3rd. They had like a Celebrate St. Louis festival, and Russell Dickerson was the headliner, and then they did fireworks under or around the arch. So that was
That's
really
cool.
fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah. I actually met Russell Dickerson one time back when I was in TV, and I did an interview with him like via Zoom, and then I got tickets to his concert that we were talking about in said interview, and I got meet and greet passes, so I got to meet him.
Oh, cool.
He's actually like a party in real life. He is such a
Yeah.
fun person.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
I
if you
I wish I've met more celebrities in my life. I need to meet more celebrities.
you know, it's kind of weird. I have met quite a few, and not
Yeah,
just
you
in
have.
TV. I used to intern at iHeartRadio or iHeartMedia. So I actually met Kelsey Ballerini through that.
That's cool.
So she's probably one of my favorite. Not, I didn't interview her, I just met her, but she's probably one of my favorite, like down to earth celebrities that I've met.
Yeah, I could see that. Another main character moment I think we both have this week, and this might be, rated R content here, guys. But We both have some really bad foot problems going on.
Yes, we do. Oh, I
Uh,
love that introduction there. I was like, where are you
yeah.
going with this?
Yeah, no feet pics, sorry. But I had turf toe a couple months ago, and I was like literally on crutches. I don't know if I talked about it on the podcast, I can't remember. But I was like on crutches, I was on a scooter. I was crippled. It was terrible. And it's been like 4 months now, and I'm still having pain, and I still can't bend my big toe fully. So that's
Mm.
been a problem. And I'm scared I might need surgery.
Oh, yeah, that is bad news bears. I'm
Yeah, what's your
sorry.
foot problem?
My foot problem, well, back when I was in high school, I had plantar fasciitis, and that sounds a lot scarier than it is. It just means like I have stress, like the tendons and my arches, because I have really high foot arch. Like I'm not going to show my feet on camera right now, but instead of
Do
like an
it.
arch being like this, it's like this.
Yeah.
So,
Alyssa is showing a very arched foot for
a
those
very arched
listening.
foot. Just use your imagination if you're not watching the YouTube video. But yeah, so I had that and then I had inserts or sole inserts back then.
Wow.
And then it kind of solved itself. I didn't need surgery or anything. Flash forward to now, I've started having not pain in my arches, but pain in my heels, which I
Mm.
have learned is kind of the same symptom. So it's like when I walk, my foot stretches and the heel is kind of like it stretches to the point like where it's uncomfortable. And I notice it a lot more like after I've been like stagnant for a while and like sit down and then I stand up and like go grab myself a glass of water. My heels are so tight.
Ooh. Yeah, that doesn't sound good either.
No, it's not fun.
Well,
Feet
everyone,
problems just suck.
yeah, feet problems suck. This is your late 20s, early 30s.
Hmm.
It's only going downhill from here.
No, it's only going to get better. Please tell me that.
I know, I'm like, I have so much more life to live. Why am I already having these problems?
I know. Yeah, bad genetics, I guess.
Oh man. Well, could be worse, I guess. My
That's true.
husband, his parents are pretty young and they both have had like both of their knees replaced already.
Hmm.
And I'm like, great, I'm gonna have to take care of my husband when he's 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes that's just how you roll the dice and that's how it happens.
Yeah.
Let's do our reading report card.
Okay.
What do
I
you got?
have a fun update for that.
Do
I
tell.
started reading Only the Beautiful because it is my like book club book that I'm in here in town. And they're meeting, I think, at my house next week. So I have to double check on
Exciting.
that. But I do not like the book.
Oh
So
no.
it was on my summer reads. And I said I hadn't read it. I was like, but I'm interested to read this. Um, and I'm not liking it. Mm-mm.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I'm only like a quarter of the way through, but like some bad stuff has been happening. And I'm like, I don't like this. This is heavy.
Oh, it's like a dark, heavy book.
Yeah, I mean, I should have known that when the description kind of talked about the Holocaust, but it's a little
Oh.
less Holocaust and little more like early 1900s, like talking about um, women being taken advantage of and like being put in mental institutions against their will.
Oh, yes, that fun time.
So I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a heavy topic. That would be kind of hard, especially when you're like reading Throne of Glass in between.
I know. I'm like, okay, I read 4 chapters of this. I'm ready to put that down, please. And like Throne of the Glass, Queen of Shadows is like my guilty pleasure now. It's like what I need to read to escape the darkness of what is Only the Beautiful.
Oh no,
Um,
seriously, that in life. That's what I escape.
mhm. Yeah. What are you reading right now? Hopefully it's better.
Okay, so currently rereading, obviously, the Throne of Glass series. So we're doing Queen of Shadows. I just finished, so we were talking about how the little animated movie K-pop Demon Hunters was
Mhm.
really popular, still is globally. Currently it has one of the like bands in the show has surpassed the real life BTS boy band
Hmm. Wow.
with like records on Spotify, which is kind of insane because it's fake.
Insane.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. But the music is pretty amazing. So if you haven't listened to it, try listening to that soundtrack and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Is that your current obsession?
I wouldn't say that's my current obsession. My current obsession and my on and off obsession is Alex Warren and his music.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty incredible.
Yeah. That's
But
cool.
I don't know if you know this, but as I said before, I think Book Talk has made Alex Warren's songs like the songs for Book Talk, right?
Oh,
His song's
yeah.
been made for like
He
Zayden and
sings
Violet.
Ordinary, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
Ordinary was written about his wife.
Yeah.
So this new one, I think it's called Eternity. He wrote this about his dead dad. So Book Talk has taken it and made it Violet and Zayden.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow. I don't
Uh,
I don't know that I have a current obsession. It was Lost. Now I'm done with that, and so I think I'm trying to not be obsessed with anything right now.
yeah,
I'm obsessed with planning our Europe trip because it's less than 2 months away, and I really just started planning it last week. So
that is
that
something
is,
good to be obsessed with.
and okay, this is totally off topic of anything we ever talk about, but I've been using ChatGPT to help plan this trip, and it
Oh,
is
really?
it's so interesting. Well, I have a bunch of stuff planned out for Paris already, like, the real tourist stuff. And like just for S's and giggles, I was like, Chat GTP, like, where do real authentic Americans go and hang out around Paris? And it came up with this whole entire list of like parks to go to that they like to hang out at, authentic restaurants. And then it was like, would you like me to come up with a full day itinerary for you? And I was like, yes. And it came
Amazing.
up with like this beautiful, fun, like really like great day of like breakfast, walking through parks, going shopping around town for like actual local shops. And yeah, it was really cool. It was
I
like,
love
I
that
hope
for
you and your
you.
husband have fun.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah. So we'll do something on that list there. I think we're going to go to the park it recommends.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so the current book that I'm reading is Queen of Shadows, or rereading, I should say. The one I just finished is called Stars and Smoke, where I was getting with that because K-pop Demon Hunters is not currently my new obsession. So Stars and Smoke it's basically like I don't know, a spy novel. So this like US spy is part of like this organization and kind of like the CIA, but they are working with like a K-pop idol because of his like connections. And
Mm,
so it kind of blurs like celebrity and the spy world. And I just really like a CIA type of plot with like, the world could end because something is happening and these people are corrupt. One of my favorite plots to read about. So it was actually really good.
neat.
Yeah. Stars and Smoke by Marie Lu. Um, yeah, didn't hate it. It was like a good palate cleanser for Heir of Fire to Queen of Shadows.
Yeah. I haven't had one of those, so I'm gonna need that soon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially after this book and the one after this. Speaking of, without further ado, let's get into our first episode of the day, which is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. It is the fourth book in the Throne of Glass series, and it is one of my favorites, Danielle. I mean, Heir of Fire was really good, as
Yeah.
you saw because you read it. We get Aelin's kind of self-discovery going from Selena Sardathian, the assassin, to finally accepting who she is as heir of Terrasen, her responsibilities that she needs. We also meet Rowan, the brooding Fey prince, who I imagine is also extremely hot. He is like hundreds of years old, and he is now blood sworn to Aelin after basically Aelin stole him from Maeve
Yeah.
and threatened to burn her city to the ground. In the meantime, Aelin has discovered her powers. She can wield fire and a little bit of water. And she went on this whole self-discovery journey. And while they were doing that, Kael and Dorian have not been having a great time in Rifthold because the king has just been getting more and more corrupt. And we have the Vogue, we have Duke Parrington doing some stuff in Morath. It is not good. And then by the end of Heir of Fire, our little cinnamon roll Dorian.
That's where we're kind of left off, and we're left off with everything going to hell, and the king has put a black collar on Dorian, where Dorian's kind of overtaken by a Volg. And that leads us into chapter 1 of Queen of Shadows. And in chapter 1, we can believe it to be Dorian's point of view after he's had this collar put on him. It's never specifically stated, but we just kind of know. He's been taken over by the Volg Prince, and he cannot remember anyone except he can remember that there was a girl who meant a lot to him and that she was beheaded. And then that's it.
Yeah. If you remember, what was it, Crown of Midnight, where we met that creature in like the basement of the castle, and
Hmm.
it almost was like inhuman. It didn't know who it was. It just knew that it was hungry and it saw food.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I imagine Dorian's feeling. Like he's slowly fading away, and this is so sad because
Hmm.
he doesn't even remember Sorsha.
Yeah. He doesn't remember Sorsha. He doesn't remember Selena, who he had a strong relationship with. He doesn't remember Chaol. I don't even think he knows he's the prince.
No, no, I don't. He doesn't know his identity at this point. He
Hmm.
just kind of knows he's a presence.
Yeah.
So. It'll be interesting how this book turns out. Chapter 2, Aelin has returned to Aurelia and she is back in Rifthold as Aelin Galathinius, heir of Terrasen. You may have noticed if you are reading the book and listening to the book, her name changes from Selena to Aelin. That's because she's at the point where she has accepted her name as Aelin Galathinius. So in this scene, she's in a place called the Vault to spy on Arabin Hamel, who was her old master at the Assassin's Keep, and the mysterious client that he's going to meet. Many of the guards have changed their uniforms to all black with like a black wyvern symbol embroidered. Remember, it used to be black and gold. Now it's just all black. And Arabin's second in command, Tarn, finds her at the bar and instantly knows who she is, despite Aelin having cut and dyed her hair red as a disguise because her gold hair is like really recognizable. Excuse me, my brain is on like
Fourth
fourth
wing.
wing. Turn tells Aelin about Wesley, who, if you remember in Assassin's Blade, he was a former guard of Arabin's and Sam Cortland's friend. He killed Rourke Farren, the crime lord who brutally tortured and killed Sam. Wesley knew about Arabin's plans to betray her and Sam, and he was seeking revenge for Sam's death. Arabin had Wesley killed for his retaliation and for taking matters into his own hands and killing Rourke Farren, which then had some consequences on Arabin's part. Arabin's client then arrives, and Aelin joins a card game to blend in, and she gets a little lost in thought. She starts thinking since stepping foot onto Aurelia, the new continent from Wendlin, Aelin felt the magic leave her, and she didn't like that feeling. It left her feeling hollow. She also really misses Rowan, but she's really glad that he's not there to experience the lack of magic. Plot twist, the client Arabin is meeting is Kaol, and he has a woman with him.
So then 3, Aelin then talks to Arabin after the client has left. And he's kind of being Arabin. He's sweet talking her. He says being a queen looks good on her, admitting that he knows her identity. And he won't reveal anything about his client, Kaol. He tells her about Adian being arrested and tells her it's probably a trap for her. And he offers to help and support to get Adian out of the castle. He knows about the Volg and he doesn't know a lot of details about them. So she tells him a few details and about the collars and the rings and how to kill them. He tells her to capture one of them for him in return for his help capturing Adian from the castle. And then the king's guards enter the vault.
Yeah, so This is kind of interesting. So if you remember from the last book that we read in Heir of Fire, Aelin figured out that Arobynn has the Amulet of Orinth, which is one of the word keys. And
Mhm.
so she's trying to get this word key, obviously, from Arobynn. So despite how badly she wants to kill him right now, she can't. And so this is going to be kind of an interesting way to just see what she does
Hmm.
and also see if Arabin gets his just desserts. Because I am waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
This man is despicable.
Yeah, he sucks.
Okay. Chapter 4. Adian is in a cell waiting for his execution because in Airfire he was captured by the king during that time when Sorsha was beheaded. He is suffering from an infected wound that he received before he was captured and is hoping it will kill him because he doesn't want to die before the king can use him against his cousin Aelin, which is the plan. And
Yeah.
that's a really short chapter.
Then chapter 5, Aelin kills all of the king's guards and like sets the vaults ablaze basically. She accidentally killed the new owner of the vaults. She's then being chased by some of these guards and she goes into the sewer. She finds a girl in the sewer, the girl that guarded Chaol there at his meeting with Arabin, and she takes Aelin through the tunnels. Aelin then puts a knife to her neck.
Destroying the vaults was kind of a symbol for Aelin as well, because all those people were like people who dealt with Rourke Farron and kind of were at Arabin's beck and call. And
Yeah.
so they, in a way, had a hand in what happened to Sam and her, and they
Hmm.
all kind of were in on it. So that was
Yeah.
kind of her little revenge, being
And
like, I'm just going to destroy you all.
and Arabin has a lot of investment into the vault as well.
Yes. Yeah. So it's a big F you to Arabin. Which I kind of love because she can't kill him, but she can make him miserable.
Hmm.
All right, chapter 6. The woman tells Aelin she's taking her to Chaol and that Chaol fled the castle to join the rebels. The woman's name is Nezrin. Nezrin doesn't trust Aelin because she killed so many rebels, which are her friends, when she saved Chaol in Crown of Midnight, to which Aelin replied, "Can you blame me?" Then she hears Chaol's voice and comes face to face with the captain who is carrying a limp body. Yeah, can you blame her? Really?
Yeah, right?
You steal her man and then threaten to kill him.
Yeah.
You expect her, Selena Sardathian, the Otterland's assassin, to take that well?
Yeah, and then you had what's his name who had Nehemia killed.
Yeah.
So
Archer Finn.
Archer. Yeah. So it's like, whatever. Get over it. Chapter 7, Aelin is taken to Chaol, who is trying to get men out of Rifthold. There's apparently more Volg in the tunnels, and we learn a lot of information in this chapter from Chaol. So the woman's name, like you said, is Nezrin Falik. We learn that former magic wielders are being collected and executed. They're being held in the tunnels. And that's why they're in there trying to rescue them and kill more of these Volg soldiers. Kael sent Ren to the north to collect the rebels. Nezrin is in the city guard. So this is like a lot of world building, I'd say, in this chapter, a lot of background information on a lot of these people that now we're introducing. And then Kael catches Aelin up about the last couple of months. She yells at him for not rescuing Dorian and getting him out. And he tells her he's wearing a black collar. Then he flips it back on her and he blames her for the king doing that to Dorian. So she's like, how could you do this? How could you not get him out? How could you not rescue Dorian? And he's like, screw you. This is all your fault. You suck. And he doesn't want to tell her what he knows about magic, how to take down the towers. He's being a complete a-hole. And he throws the eye of Elena at her. I'm like, Then he has the audacity to call her a monster and reinforces her kind of insecurity that she's always had about her powers. And he has no trust in Aelin. We learn that Kaol and Nezrin used to hook up, and Nezrin who Selena really is. So like, mm, anyways, I'd say the relationship is over.
I would
Com
say so.
Completely over. Kaol and Selena gone.
Yeah.
And then she's like, fine. She gives him back the ring that she has held on to for so long that he gave her, and he goes and he pawns it for money. Kaol is such an a-hole.
Yeah, I have so many thoughts. Now you
He,
understand why I don't like him.
oh my gosh, in this book, he completely turns into like an enemy,
Yeah.
basically.
We saw, I mean, the moment that she told him who she was, right?
Hmm.
We saw that shift in Kale go from lover to almost enemy at this point. He always referenced her as, well, this is like an enemy of the crown. And so here he's really, honestly, it's the audacity because he sent her to Wendlin in the first place.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't be able to hone her skills in
Uh-huh.
fire if he didn't send her there in the first place,
Yeah.
thus creating her to have this interaction with some Volg army
Yeah.
to have the spectacle that then prompted the king to act. I don't
Yeah.
know.
He
It's like
sent
he's
her there.
grasping at straws at this point.
Yeah. He sent her there and then's like, you just were off gallivanting around and while I was here doing all this work. And I'm like, you forced her to go there.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, at the end of the chapter, Aelin's had enough. She writes to Arabin to accept his deal, one Volg for Adian.
Yeah. Here's something else too. I mean, Aelin is kind of right how Kale did leave Doran. He did flee. And that's something that bothers Kale when, it's brought up. It's whenever someone says he fled, and that really like strikes a chord because as a captain, you're supposed to be brave. You're supposed to fight for what you believe in. And he left Dorian to that horrible fate that he will eventually learn about.
Hmm.
And Aelin would not have left. She would have gone fighting for her, like to her last breath if she had to.
Yeah. And he fled.
And he fled like a coward. I
Hmm.
really don't like Kale in this book
Yeah,
or
me
after.
either. Me either.
He's like, oh, what do you, I'm gonna say it. He's a whiny little bitch. I'm sorry.
Mm. Yeah. And
Those are
he's
my
like
final
putting
thoughts.
putting blame on other people instead of like taking his own accountability.
Yeah, he's a coward. And we'll just see how he develops from there.
He's been Tamlined.
He has been Tamlin. Almost, I don't know. He might be worse than Tamlin.
I don't know.
I,
We'll see.
I don't know. Maybe they're on like the same wavelength.
Yeah, I hope he can redeem himself, but
They
probably
both
not.
suck.
Hmm.
All right, chapter 8. Going away from all of that, we now shift to Morath, where Manon and the 13 have been sent to follow Duke Parrington, a man she says she doesn't like. Smart woman. She comments on the screams that she can hear from deep within the mountains, but that she doesn't know what's happening. And this is so eerie. Because, like, just imagine being at this place and then just hearing, like, blood-curdling screams and not knowing what's happening. No, thank
Yeah.
you. Caltaine Rompier is there with a black collar around her neck and a scar on her arm that was not there before. This is fun for me for my reread because I completely forgot what that was. So this is going to be kind of a revelation for me as well.
Hmm.
The
So after
witches
that?
are getting like stir crazy since they haven't really done anything, and the men feel wrong, just their whole being because they're Volg, they're of another world, and Astrid wants to leave, point blank, period,
Yeah.
which is fair.
I'd say so. Astron's like, this place sucks.
Yeah,
Manon, can we leave? Like,
dip.
yeah, let's go.
Let's take our wyverns and fly away.
Let's go away. So then chapter 9, we're jumping back to Rifthold. Arabin gifts Aelin back her old suit that he had made for her. If you remember in Assassin's Blade, he had her and Sam made a suit, and he gives it back to her. Lysandra ends up showing up at her house in the slums, And with her, she has a young girl, Evangeline, in the carriage who has scars on her face. And she can't be a courtesan if she's scarred. So if you remember, we hate Lysandra. Her and Selena have beef going back. And this girl who Aelin, Selena, hates, shows up at her place to give a message to her from Arabin. So she's like, I have a message for you from Arabin, and I'm here to give you a warning from myself. And she tells Aelin Arabin's plan to save Adian, which was she was supposed to do. She then says that she thinks Arabin sent her there to give her this message as a gift to Aelin because Aelin had said before that the next time she saw Lysandra, she would kill her.
Mhm.
So Arabin was gifting Lysandra to her to kill. And then she tells her that she's being watched and that this whole plan is likely a trap for her. And she gives her a note from Wesley. Wesley had been planning to get Selena out of Andover. And we learned that Lysandra and Wesley had a relationship, that they had fallen in love. And if you remember, Wesley was killed by Arabin. So Aelin is skeptical of Lysandra and wonders if she's lying. You know, this has been her enemy for years. And then we learn that Evangeline was saved from being a courtesan by Lysandra. However, willingly, she let Lysandra scar her face so that she wouldn't have to become a courtesan. And because of this, Lysandra was beaten by her boss and then had to buy Evangeline from the boss. And so now she's back into debt.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Lysandra has definitely made up for her wrongs in the past. And we learned that she's actually not that bad. She has a heart and she was like, I'm going to rescue this young girl so she doesn't have to live a life like I've had.
You'll soon see why she's one of my favorite characters. I did tell you that in
Hmm.
Assassin's Blade, and you were like, "No way." No,
Yeah.
she is probably one of the better characters I've
Hmm.
met in a book
She's had a
series.
comeback story. Even with
Yeah.
just that chapter, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you're cool.
And this also shows like how selfless she is. She decided to save the life of an innocent young woman from having to warm the beds of strange men her whole life.
Hmm.
And in return, she had to give up basically her freedom
Yeah.
because she was so close to paying off her debt and now she's back in it.
Hmm. And once again, she hurt the young girl, but it was uh the young girl was like okay with it. She
Yeah,
was
it
like,
was
let's do
consensual. It
this.
was like a consensual
Yeah.
deformity almost.
Yeah, because she really didn't want to be a courtesan.
Yeah, mutilation is the word.
Hmm.
But it's because if, you're uglier, then men won't want you.
Yeah.
So, chapter 10, Adian back in the cells. He's not looking too hot. The infection is close to killing him. But then we get a visit from Dorian, and it's not Dorian. It is, but it isn't, as, we saw in the beginning of the book. He's cold and cruel, and Adian realizes he has no control over himself anymore. As Dorian leaves after taunting Adian for a while, he tells the guards to fetch a healer, and Adian reluctantly is saved against his will. So his plan to die before being used against Aelin did not work.
Yes. Chapter 11, Kaal is at a new place we're learning about, and it's called the Shadow Market. And he has a secret meeting there with Borello and Ress, who still work in the castle as guards. Aelin then shows up to talk to them and tells the guards to not be at a certain space in the castle and to wear red flowers on their uniform so that she can identify them when she goes in to save Adian. And then at the end of the chapter, Aelin is thinking about how much she misses Rowan.
I just love that, like, in the middle of all this chaos, she's just like, I miss Rowan.
Yeah, right?
Girl, me too. I miss
She's like,
Rowan too.
she's like, I'm gonna kill a bunch of people. I want to make sure I don't kill you. And then aside, she's like, oh man, I miss my lover.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, Kale is finally realizing after Aelin does this, he's like, oh, she's saving my men from being killed.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she isn't all that bad. But then the way he just keeps treating her, it just makes me so mad.
Every time he speaks. Ugh.
Every time he speaks, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah. I'm like,
No one cares.
I know you're rescuing people, but like, I hate you.
Hmm. Exactly. All right. Chapter 12, back in Morath. Manon is called to a meeting with Duke Parrington and Lord Vernon Lochan. The Duke wants Manon to pick a Blackbeak coven for them to experiment on to create Volg Witch children. Because this book is YA, the way they breed is by sewing a stone into their stomachs. We can only assume the stone is like the black obsidian rock that the collars and the rings are made of. The
Ugh.
witches are more likely to be compatible for this since they are the product of Volg and Fae when Volg would come from another world, steal Fae away, and breed with them. This is disturbing, okay?
Mhm.
Astrid implores Manon to refuse, saying witchlings are sacred and to steal or hurt one is the largest sin someone can commit. Manon, tired of Astrid questioning her leadership, demotes Astrid from her second to third and appoints Sorrel as her new second. Later, Manon is in her chambers and meets a servant, a human girl named Elide. Do you remember that name? Elide is who Aelin's handmaiden, that is the name that she said, tell Elide, I love her.
I didn't catch that at first.
You didn't?
I've gotten later in the book where that's revealed, but I didn't catch that at first.
Oh, that's funny. No, I put that together and I was like, oh my God. So we're meeting a lead. She has dark hair, dark eyes, and she has a crippled leg where she can barely walk, and she's also in chains. So for the daughter of a former lord who, something happens to him, and we'll get to that in a second. Basically, she is Lord Lochan's niece, who is now the Lord of Pranth. Manon notices Elide is faking a stutter and warns her not to spy on her. And just because she can, she cuts her just enough to draw blood and then tastes it. And she's very surprised to find that Elide has witch blood.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Chapter 13, Aelin is at the keep to see Arobin. We learn from her kind of internal thought that she has read a letter from Wesley that was given to her. And we then get confirmation from Arobin that he did send Lysandra there just so Aelin could kill her because he's over her. And there's a lot of dialogue between them that seems mostly unimportant, but it kind of instills the distrust in Arobin. Like, he's a bad guy. We're just reinforcing that again. Their relationship is super toxic. And then he says that everything's ready for their plan to get Aedion out. Arobin tells her that Chaol had a relationship with Nesrin, so he's kind of trying to stir the pot. And then after this meeting at the keep, she goes back to her place, and Lysandra is there waiting for her like they had planned. Lysandra wants to help Aelin kill Arobin. The two of them make amends, and Lysandra says that they could kill two birds with one stone, and then the chapter ends, and we don't know this kind of new plan that they end up developing.
Yeah. Let's go back to the letter because that is a huge part of this. So
Mhm.
Wesley found out all of Arabin's plans and he knew of some of them, but he didn't know all of them. And he basically told Aelin everything
Mhm.
that Arabin made a list of things to do to Sam and kill him. If
Yeah,
you
that's why.
remember, that is the most, I mean, the torture that that poor boy went through, that
Hmm.
is list listed out by Arabin.
Yeah.
It's so disturbing.
Hmm.
This man is twisted, and I feel bad for Aelin because if I were her, I would just go kill him right then, right there. But she
Yeah.
still needs that amulet.
Hmm.
So, not, I don't know. That would be really hard for me.
Yeah.
All right. Chapter 14. Kale and Nezran are observing an execution, and Aelin randomly shows up. Kale demands Aelin does not kill Dorian and instead tries to save him if she sees him. Kale and Aelin argue, and Kale goes too far again, and he threatens Aedion. Aelin is not happy. Then, randomly, the execution starts early, and they're too late to stop the first person from being killed. Realizing he maybe went too far, Kale tells her to destroy the obsidian clock tower if she wants to restore magic. So he was feeling a little guilty, and he's like, well, by the way, here's how to restore magic. Aelin then realizes that the king could use word marks against her, and she needs her book of like spells and word mark stuff. And Kale then reveals that he has it. So, how convenient. Aelin then helps with the rescue, and they manage to save the next person. Later, while Nezran has to tell the family of the person who was executed, Aelin is tracking some of the Vault guards, and she's getting ready for the big rescue.
So then, chapter 15, we're back to Aedion's point of view. He still wants to kill himself before the execution. There are guards everywhere, kind of setting the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And
Very
that's
short chapter.
it.
Also, another short chapter, chapter 16. It's time for the big rescue. Aelin has disguised herself as a dancer in order to get into the prince's birthday party. She notices the king, the man who killed her family. And again, this is a test of just self-control. And today is not his day. And she realizes that this is time to save Aedion. The king will get his just desserts at some point, but today is not that day. The dance instructor, Madame Florine, is in on the plan as well and knows that Aelin is not Selena Sardothian, that she is the heir of Terrasen. Aelin sees word marks in the doorways as she predicted would happen, and she washes them away with water with help from one of the allies.
So then we get to chapter 17, and this is still kind of like a lead up chapter, and it is badass. Like this chapter, I'm like, I want to go back and read it again. It's so good. So the dancers then head out to perform in black, and they're performing the Maiden's Death Dance.
On the prince's birthday.
Yep. Florine gives all of the dancers, as they're about to go out, black glass flowers meant to be broken important at a specific time. Aelin is not given one, and Florine's like, "You're not going out there." You know, they're playing the part. And Florine lets Aelin know that she knows who she is, that she's the Queen of Terrasen, and says that she will follow her anywhere she goes and bring her kingdom music and dancing and art. Florine then tells the dancers, quote, "Give our king the performance he deserves." Mic drop. Then Aelin sneaks into the crowd. Dancers are dancing and they're dropping black ash kind of all over the ground. Aedion is looking around trying to plan his escape, and he sees Aelin. He doesn't immediately know it's her because remember, he hasn't seen her since she was a very little girl. And she leaves the room, and then she comes back, he notices, in a completely different disguise. She's looking like a man in this disguise. Aelin then makes eye contact with Aedion. Oh, and actually, I need to say this. Before this happens, someone in the crowd hollers, "Hey, so and so." I can't remember the name off the top of my head. And she reaches up and waves, acting like she's like this man that's called out. That will be important for later.
Mm-hmm.
And so then Aelin makes eye contact with Aedion. The dancers raise their flowers and then shatter them on the ground. And then the quote to end the chapter is, "Aedion grinned at his queen, and the entire world went to hell."
Yeah, this was a fun chapter,
I was
and this is
like,
another Sarah J. Maas masterpiece where like, where did she get this?
he grinned at his queen, and the entire world went to hell. I'm like, That needs to be put on a poster. Like my blood was like, ah, like you can't stop reading there. You have to keep going.
No, I mean that's one of the ends of a chapter where like I'm like, well, I have to stay up now and keep reading it. And by the
Yeah.
time you're finished, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, that was so good. It's like those words, chef's kiss.
And this whole book is full of them. So,
Yeah.
chapter 18, the world did indeed go to hell. The flowers were actually filled with a reactive agent that mixed with the black powder on the ground, creating an explosion of thick smoke, making it hard to see, courtesy of Arabin Hamel. Aelin uses this cover to save Adian, and as she's doing so, she sees this sword and she grabs it, and it's the sword of Orinth, which is her father's sword. His chains are magic, so Aelin uses word marks of her own to unlock them with her blood. Aelin notices Adian is injured, and in good old Selena fashion, Aelin fashion, she vows to make those responsible pay for hurting her family. Aelin does what she does best and cuts down every single guard in her wake, and just when they're about to get to safety, Dorian catches up with them. I love
Yes.
this. It's again, classic badass now Aelin Galathynius.
Yeah.
Like, she's so good.
hmm And then in chapter 19, Dorian's Volg demon that's taken over him starts talking to Aelin and says that she's not getting away. Aelin pleads with Dorian to give her a sign that he's still inside of his body as she begins to draw her blade, which is bad between her and Kale because she said that she wouldn't kill him, but she lied to him. So then she starts drawing word marks on the ground while her and this Volg are kind of going back and forth talking. The monster then lunges for her and is captured by the word marks that she's drawn. And then as she goes to kill him, she's also, I will say, asked Dorian multiple times to give her a sign that he's there. And he hasn't. So then she goes to kill him. And as she goes to give the death blow, an arrow comes towards her and narrowly misses her. And it's Nazarin there. And she stops her from killing Dorian. And Aelin thinks that she's going to regret this moment, not killing him. Aelin and Adian then run away. They get into a carriage that Lysandra is in, and Adian then has to hide in a secret compartment in the carriage because guards are checking all of the carriages because of Adian leaving, being taken away. So then they pass these checks, and Chaol is waiting actually in another second carriage for them. That's also important, the carriages. And then they end up going to her apartment. Chaol yells at her for almost killing Dorian. They argue, of course, and Lysandra hears the argument and hears Chaol call her a queen.
Uh-oh. This plan was so well thought out.
Yeah,
Every little detail was precise. And then
meticulous.
obviously they didn't plan on Dorian stopping them. But
Mhm.
this was huge for Aelin to give him time. You know, she loved him as a friend, and she's like, please tell me you're still in there. And for her, killing him is a mercy
Mhm.
versus letting him endure this.
Yeah.
And, we'll see why. But this was a really good couple chapters to like
Mhm.
listen and read along with.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 20. We are now in Elid's point of view again, and we are getting a bit of her background. While she's kind of roaming around Morath and the grounds of the Duke Parrington's place, she's also realizing that the 13 are probably watching her now, since she's kind of on Manon's radar. Elite's father, we find out, used to be the Lord of Paranth until her uncle swore loyalty to the king and had her father executed. Nice guy. Then he took the title of Lord for himself. Elide finds herself in what they call the Eyrie, which is where the wyverns are kept, and she runs into Manon. Elide gives Manon a letter which is addressed to her from her grandmother, the lovely woman from the last book.
hmm
Manon realizes Ali doesn't know that she's part witch. She confronts Elide and tells her to stop faking her timidness and stuttering. Because remember, she noticed that Elide wasn't really this shy, timid creature that she pretended to be. And the letter from Manon's grandmother basically tells her to obey the Duke's orders to provide a Blackbeak coven for the experiment. Manon then asks Ghislaine, one of her 13, about the Vogue, and then learns that they came to our world to steal Fae and breed, thus creating witches, which is terrifying. King Brannon then gave the witches the Western Wastes, which is what the witches are trying to go back to. But they can't because the Kraken witches basically cursed it for them. So they need to figure that out before they can go back.
And then Ansel from Assassin's Blade apparently is ruling over the Waste right now too.
Yeah, and she currently has that. And then one of the Yellow Legs leaders comes up to Manon and is like, I volunteer as tribute to be the coven for the Duke's experiment, so they'll at least have some semblance of honor. I personally would rather die,
Bad
but
choice.
to each their own.
Bad choice.
It is a
But
choice.
yeah, right? I'm like, you want to get impregnated by a demon? You're
No,
crazy.
no thanks.
So, chapter 21, we're back to Dorian's point of view, and he's remembering the girl that almost killed him, and he wishes that she had.
Yeah.
And that's
And he basically says that he hates the girl for not killing him. So, I mean, if we remember from Aelin's experience with the Vogue Princes, she was just experiencing the horror of the worst memories that she's had over and over and again. And it seems that Dorian's kind of experiencing the same thing. He keeps
Mhm.
seeing Sorsha being beheaded. And so
Yeah.
he's kind of just like stuck in this torment.
Hmm.
And our poor guy has to live through it because Aelin couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
I,
kind of really sad. I mean, for a YA book, this is
yeah.
dark.
Yeah. I really hope Dorian gets rescued. I haven't finished the series, so I really don't know, but you have, so don't tell me. But yeah, I'm like, oh, poor Dorian. Like, figure something out. We have to save him. Like,
Yeah.
so
At this point, for Dorian, it's not looking good, but
yeah. We'll
miracles have
say.
happened. So if you have thoughts, feelings, emotions of chapters 1 through 21, please let us know on social media, Main Character Syndrome Pod. For now, to the readers who listen, we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone.